if you are eating less and you're not losing weight, then you're not actually in a calorie deficit. On today's episode, I'm going to talk to you guys about what a calorie deficit actually is, how to know if you're in one, and how to get into one. It's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee and let's get into it.
Get that coffee.
Get that coffee. I wish I could drink it. I can't.
I'm craving mine right now. Not going to lie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why you keep talking about the coffee shop?
Yes. This is Candidly with coffee. I'm supposed to have a cup of coffee.
I know. But you know what? I'm sad because ever since I went into menopause, coffee is too acidic for my stomach. I have to have Tums if I want to have coffee.
Yeah. It's too bad.
I can have cold coffee. I can have like one cold coffee and I'll be okay. Like a cold brew or something. But it has to be like a good quality coffee. Like Starbucks is too acidic for me.
Too acidic.
So I do the matchas at Starbucks. But man, the protein, okay, you guys get ready, get a pen. Banana protein cold foam protein milk matcha latte. So it's a matcha latte made with protein milk. This was fortified with protein milk. And then you get the protein cold foam in the banana. And it's like, for a grande, is like 40 grams of protein and like 300 calories. It's a lot of calories, but you're getting, it passes the protein test.
Wait, how many calories?
It's like 390 calories.
No, but it passes the protein test. So
but it's good. Like 40 grams of protein.
Yeah.
So
it levels it out perfectly.
Yes. And it is delicious. But I want to make it at home. So I love my matcha latte, protein matcha lattes at home. So I want to go to Home Goods and I want to find a banana syrup. And I want to make protein cold foam with the banana syrup.
I think you're going to have better luck ordering off Amazon because right now, this season, I see peppermint and other flavor. Like, what the fuck I ain't going to use a pumpkin, obviously, is another popular one.
Yeah, I don't like pumpkin coffee too much. I like the pumpkin cold foam at Starbucks, but it's so many calories.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm cool. I don't like all that stuff.
All right, you guys. So if you haven't already, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Candidly_with coffee on Instagram. And drop a comment and integrate with our, what is the word? Interact with us, I should say, in the comments.
Don't just drop a comment. Drop a question. If you have any questions on any of this stuff, because a lot of times people don't get what we're talking about. We do the best we can.
So you need to get in there in the comments and start answering some. You always ask for questions, but then you don't go in and answer the questions. I do it all.
You run the podcast.
No, you could get in there and answer them.
They're probably asking you, not me. Well, if you want to ask a question, specifically ask me.
Ask Mike the questions.
Go for it.
Because he always goes, I love questions.
Yeah.
Ask you some questions. You get in there and answer some. No, I'm just kidding. I like to answer questions as well. As long as they're not rude. If you're rude, or let me just say this before I get too far in this episode. If you have to phrase your question with something that sounds like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but insert whatever question. Don't ask the fucking question.
That's true. You're being rude.
If you start with, I don't mean this in a bad way, don't ask the question you're about to. Hold the thought, hold it, save it, because no question that starts that way is not going to piss me off in some regard.
Yeah.
And I will just hide you from my channel. Listen, I don't have time for people that are going to really irritate me.
What was it? The last time we went live, somebody said something about the spelling of something.
They were mad that I incorrectly used an apostrophe on our name.
On our name.
Yeah.
On our name.
And I was like, okay, well, you're sitting here getting free information and value from us.
Yeah, on our live.
Who cares? How does that impact what you're learning from this live right now?
You're worried about apostrophes.
And I was like, I can't help myself. It's a pet peeve. Well, I was like, you know what my pet peeve is? My pet peeve is people who can't help themselves and have to share what their pet peeves are on my content.
Exactly.
Guess what you could do? You could be annoyed, go over to your YouTube channel, go live and say, hey, everyone, I just want to let you know I'm really annoyed right now.
Yep.
Because I was watching a live and someone titled it with an incorrect apostrophe.
Exactly.
That's all I got to say about that. I'm going to get off my little soapbox now. Anyways, go ahead and ask a question. Now
Go ahead and
nobody's
ask
going to ask a
No.
question. Just
Now you
kidding.
scared them.
I'm just kidding. Okay, you guys. Let's talk about a calorie deficit. First, what is a calorie deficit? It means that you are eating less calories than you burn. Best way to achieve a calorie deficit is with your nutrition. Biggest mistake people make, they try to achieve a calorie deficit with burning calories.
Yes. Hours of cardio.
Yeah, like they try to just, I'm going to burn 800 so then I could go eat 800. It doesn't work, by the way. The math doesn't math.
No, never does.
It never maths because your body adapts to calorie expenditure very quickly. So don't use that method. It won't work. You will, in fact, be the person that thinks you're in a calorie deficit, but you really are not because you are banking on calories burned. Don't.
Never works.
you
Or I'm
learn
gonna go
one
run
thing-
I'm gonna go run an hour and I'm gonna burn almost 1,000 calories. So that means I can eat more. No, that doesn't work.
So you must eat less than you burn in order to lose body fat, but you don't want to eat too little for too long, which will get your metabolism to adapt. And go back and watch one of our previous episodes we did was like a couple weeks ago. We talked about that. Signs that you're in a deficit that's too deep, that's too big. You have brain fog, you can't sleep, you're really tired, and you stall your progress out. Also, keep in mind that your calorie deficit is established in an average over time. People will wonder why they're not losing weight if they're in a calorie deficit, but they're not in a calorie deficit every day. They're not in a net calorie deficit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
You're not in a net calorie deficit?
Yeah, meaning you ate I only ate 1,000 calories Monday through Friday. I only ate 5,000 calories in 5 days, but then you ate 5,000 Saturday and 5,000 Sunday.
Oh, they throw it off.
So now you've ate 15,000 calories. Divide that by 7. That's your actual average intake over the course of 7 days. And it's most likely a surplus.
Yeah. It's always that way. They always, Monday through Friday, why do you do good? Because you have a job. You punch your clock. You're very structured. Come the weekends, you let off the reins. You get comfortable. You let comfort set in. You start eating out.
Yes.
Then you know you go way above your calories.
So if the biggest mistake people make is because when they finally decide they want to be in a calorie deficit, they want fast results. So they try to eat very little and they cannot sustain that. You think you're eating very little, but you actually are averaging much higher because maybe on the weekends you loosen up and you consume quite a bit more. So a lot of times it's almost like weird the way the body works. The body's always trying to the body wants to reach maintenance. It wants to stay the same. It doesn't want a surplus necessarily. It doesn't want a deficit. It kind of wants to stay the same. So if you're not really great about tracking, especially on the weekends, the deficit you created Monday through Friday, your body will wipe that out with Saturday and Sunday eating.
Easy.
Your hunger will rise to the level of wiping out your Monday through Friday deficit without you even realizing it.
So true.
And I feel like it's kind of like the body's way of maintaining that homeostasis, like always staying the same. Your body's always fighting to stay the same.
Yeah.
So, you will naturally just eat up that deficit. It doesn't feel like it, let me tell you, because calories accumulate so quickly that it'll feel like you ate just a little bit more, but in reality, you're eating significantly more.
You're probably underreporting it by 1,000 calories, which
Yeah.
what they say the average American does on a daily basis.
The best thing you can do when you're trying to establish a calorie deficit for consistent weight loss is to keep your calorie intake about the same, whether it's a weekday or a weekend. Keep it the same. And that means for most of you, that means more calories during the week and less on the weekends. It doesn't just mean less on the weekends. It means balance it out so that you can actually eat more every day so that you don't go into the weekend so hungry, so sleep deprived, so tired, in a fog that when you finally eat, you just like lose control.
I know. We've been there. I know what that's like.
So, and I know that people hate this, but weight loss, fat loss that's sustainable where you can stay consistent and actually keep it off needs to be slow. Slow.
Write that down. Slow, not fast. Everybody wants fast. Everybody wants accelerated. And with the introduction of GLP-1s, that really accelerated people's expectations.
Yeah. And that's a disaster in and of itself. And so what does that mean? How slow should it be? It should be 0.5 up to 1% of your body weight weekly. So if you weigh 150 pounds, the most you should lose in a week is 1.5 pounds. But really, 3/4 of a pound in a week up to 1.5. More likely 3/4. What typically happens is people will set their deficit to lose the 1.5, but they'll end up losing 3/4 because of the mistakes along the way.
Always.
There's always going to be a mistake. So let's just say in a perfect world, you knew exactly how many calories it would take to lose 2 pounds, you'll probably only lose 1, because even though you know exactly, you're going to make mistakes in your tracking. You're going to underestimate something. You're going to have bites, licks, and tastes that you're not tracking.
Yep.
So you're always going to
Yep.
lose less than you think your calorie deficit is set at. Like for example, I'll have a client that I know for a fact when they follow the macros that I have set based on their output that I see, because I see all that data. They have their Apple Watch synced up to our app. I know based on what they tracked and what their output was that they should lose X amount of weight. They always lose about a 0.5 pound less than what they should have lost. And that's just human error. And we're always going to err not in our favor, right? It's always going to be, extra few grams of nut butter, extra this. Maybe you tracked an apple every day, but you didn't actually weigh out that apple. Well, one day an apple is 180 calories, one day it's 90, one day it's 210 based on the size of it. So,
or you go eat out and they have the nutrition
and
facts. And you assume, I had a bowl of chicken bowl at Chipotle and it always says it's 750 calories.
Yeah.
Like, listen, it's impossible for them to know because they're not using a scale. They're just throwing ladles of rice, ladles of beans. Then the chicken, even though you might get double serving, then you throw a big old ladle of guacamole in there.
Yeah.
Then cheese, handful of cheese. That adds up. You're talking about double.
Yep.
That's what you should be estimating.
Yeah.
Double the calories. That's where people are going wrong.
Busy women, this one's for you. My Thrive in 3 program was designed specifically for women in midlife who want to build muscle, stay strong, and feel amazing. You don't have to spend hours in the gym. You'll get a simple, effective 3-day strength training split with both home and gym options, so you can fit it into your lifestyle no matter what. The workouts are only 30 minutes, and they're powerful. Powerful enough to help you see real results in strength, muscle tone, and confidence. If you're ready for as easy-to-follow workouts that keep you thriving in midlife, the Thrive in 3 program is waiting for you. Yeah, so a good deficit should be manageable. You shouldn't feel like you're starving or super low energy, because sustainability wins the race. So, and I know this doesn't make sense, but slow fat loss is actually faster path to your goal weight than fast fat loss. Fast fat loss is honestly, you'll take so many detours, you'll never reach your goal weight.
No.
Slow fat loss is sustainable. You don't feel tortured. There's enough calories on deck for some balance. You can stick with it. So because it's sustainable and you can stick with it, you'll eventually get there. Fast fat loss, you'll lose weight fast, but then you'll gain some back on the weekend, then you'll lose it again. You gain some back, lose it again. Fast fat loss, honestly, usually ends up in slow weight gain. Slow weight gain.
People understand why that happens.
You end up larger and you end up feeling like you've been on a diet forever. Slow, sustainable weight loss, you do what you need to do, you get to your goal, you reverse diet back to maintenance, and you live happily ever after.
Yeah, because fat loss, fast fat loss, you're depriving yourself a lot of times. Mm-hmm. You're too rigid. Mm-hmm. And eventually those pipes burst, and then you give in, floodgates open, then you're like, oh my God, I went overboard this weekend.
Yep.
And then you go, oh, okay, back to
so that's common. And then
Very
another
common.
thing that's common, let's just say you actually are successful with your rigidity. and you're able to stick to the low calories, super low calories, because you're wanting to lose 3 pounds a week, and you ask ChatGPT, what do I need to eat to lose 3 pounds a week? By the way, do not do that, because ChatGPT will say, well, if you walk 20,000 steps and you eat 900 calories, like it'll tell you it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. It'll tell you to do crazy things. It's trying to affirm you. It's to tell you what you want to hear a lot of times.
True.
So be careful. But if, say, you're actually able to stick to something really rigid and really low calories, the weight that you lose on the scale is going to be more lean body mass than it is body fat. And that is a fast track to a skinny fat body. It's not what you want. It's a perfect example of the number on the scale might look right, but the reflection in the mirror is not what you were expecting.
You're like, man, I still got this roll of fat
Yeah.
on my waistline.
Like, I wear a size 2 pants, but my belly hangs over the
This
top.
little love handles are still popping out the back. I still got jiggly chicken arms back there. A little
Yeah.
fat. Yeah, because you didn't do it correctly.
It's crazy. I'm it's so when you recomposition your body and you put on lean mass and you lose body fat, it's a totally different feeling. If you do it correctly. And like in my cut, that I'm currently in my cut, doing it, at a rate of up to 1% body fat weekly. I don't want to lose any more than 1.2 pounds a week. That would be the maximum, but likely it's 0.6 up to 1.2.
Yeah.
Initially, it's usually faster in the beginning. It's like you lose faster and then it tapers
Yes.
off and you lose slower.
Yep.
If I were to lose any faster than that, if it's charting faster, I need to increase calories. I'm in too big of a deficit because I don't want to lose lean mass.
That's
I
what
worked
people don't.
really hard for that lean mass.
Yeah, it's hard to build muscle. That's gold. I always tell
Yeah.
people you got to protect that, and that's why I always say when it comes to fat loss, slow and steady wins the race. Like you said, not in a hurry, because we want to protect that hard-earned muscle that you built. You don't want to lose that.
Well, because the slow and steady and the correct way gets you to the physique that you want.
Without dying, without like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm so hungry, I hate this, I'm tired, miserable. That shouldn't be miserable. You should be cruising. You should be like, I got this. Feel
And
good.
most people have never achieved this physique that deep down, and even if they don't want to admit it to themselves, deep down, they have a dream. They see someone and go, wow, I would die for that body or whatever, right? They have this physique goal, but they're not doing what it needs to take to get there. And that goal, if you've never had it, you don't know what size that goal is. So stop trying to get to a certain size. You don't know how much that goal body weighs. So stop trying to get to a certain number on the scale.
Yeah.
Just keep going until you like what you see in the mirror, because it's tenfold. It's not onefold or twofold. It's a lot of things that are going to get you to like what you see in the mirror. It's going to be doing the things you need to do to get there, right? It's building confidence in your ability to exercise, building confidence in your ability to know how to nourish your body, know how to build muscle, how to lose body fat, and all of that. It creates this person, a fit person that's knowledgeable about how to operate their machine. And you like the reflection, not just because of the way it looks, but because the confidence that you built and the knowledge and just the feelings that you built in order to get there to begin with. It's not just about the reflection. It's about that person that you built to get there.
Yeah, the person you become.
Become her, like becoming her. That
Yes.
process of becoming her.
Yep.
Everything you learned about yourself and things that you improved in that process is so important to the outcome as well. Because if you
The journey is more important than the actual
Yes.
result. Period.
Yeah.
People forget that. They're so focused on the result. The journey is more important.
Because if you don't do it right, and achieving a calorie deficit and going about that is a very important part of the process as well, going about that in a healthy way. Even if you're able to white knuckle to that physique that you wanted, if you didn't do it correctly, you still look in the mirror and you don't see the reflection of what you created because you're all jumbled. You have body dysmorphia. You didn't fix your relationship with food. You didn't build confidence. You're still insecure. So you don't even see what you created because you didn't go on that healthy journey of ditching vices with your food and learning coping mechanisms for emotions instead of food and learning how to be in a healthy calorie deficit, not an extreme one, and how to build muscle. And you just like, you didn't do all of those things in the journey.
I had a client once. She lost a bunch of weight. I think she was like 300 pounds, and she's a tall woman, like 5'10". I forgot what her weight was at, but she looked great. She got herself fit, healthy, but she said she was still looking in the mirror. I remember her telling me this, like if it was yesterday. And this was like 20 years ago. Her telling me, I still see that same big woman in the mirror. Like she didn't identify with her new self. She did all the work. I don't know what she did to get there. I was just training to build muscle, get stronger. She had lost a lot of weight on her own, but she said she would still look at that in the mirror and see that same overweight fat woman.
Yeah.
It's still, for some reason it was still there. I go, no, you got to identify with the new person. You're not hurt. That's not you no more. You become a new person. You need to start switching your mindset into that.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a journey, that process, and it takes time. And people just assume that they just like tunnel vision on their goal kind of, and they'll just stop at nothing sometimes to get there. And they're like, no, I'll eat the lettuce and the nothing, and I'll starve myself and I'll do anything. And I promise that once I get there, I'll be happy and I'll love myself so much that then I'll do all the right things. And they don't. They just become more and more damaged, and then they end up going in the other direction. They can't hold it.
No.
They feel like out of control because they can't hold it, and it happens to competitors a lot.
And former models. Models talk about that, how they had to be a certain size and look a certain. Eventually, they to the point where a lot of them were making themselves throw up, where they have a bad relationship with food.
Yeah.
And then they go in the other direction.
They can never achieve it. They can never achieve. They can never maintain what they've achieved. It's almost like it's like out of their reach. It's like, I want to hold on to it so bad, but then they're like a runaway train back in the other direction and worse off than they ever were before.
Yep.
And that's why it's so important that no matter what thing you're currently working on, building muscle or finding maintenance or finding a calorie deficit, whatever it is, you always should be working on something that you do it correctly in the most healthy way, that you are protecting your mental state and the way that you feel and your confidence, and all of that stuff is so important because you can't do one without the other. You will not be able to hold on to it.
No.
You won't be able to do it correctly.
You won't.
So super, super important. And speaking of methods and different things, a lot of people wonder if you can build muscle and lose body fat at the same time. So in the next episode, I want to talk about that. We're going to talk about building muscle, how to train for fat loss and muscle gain at the same time. If you can do that, why you should do that, why you shouldn't. We're going to talk about it. So we'll see you next time.
See ya.